In this video, we're going to solve and graph compound inequalities. Now, compound just means more than one. So we're going to have more than one answer to this. And on our graph, we're going to have more than one point and arrow. So example 1, here we have b minus 4 is less than 2, but greater than -6. Now, there are two different kinds of compound inequalities. You got conjunction, which uses the keyword and, or you can use the abbreviated form like this one, or you have a disjunction. A disjunction inequality uses the keyword or. So for this one, this first one we have is going to be conjunction. They didn't use the word and, but they could have done that. But this one's abbreviated form with it. So for this one, we need to solve for b. Right now, they're saying you're going to subtract 4 from b. So to get b by itself, I'm going to add 4 to the middle, to the right, and to the left. And that's going to leave me with b has to be less than 6, but greater than -2. Now, if you use the word and, then you would just have one that says b is greater than -6 and, or b minus 4 is greater than -6 and b minus 4 is less than 2. And then you would just solve it the same way. Now to graph this one, I'm going to put a point at each of these ends. Now these are less than symbols and greater than symbols. So I'm going to use an open circle at -2 and an open circle at 6. So 6 would be right here. So I'm going to put an open circle here. So I'll put that as 6. Now it has to be less than 6. So it's got to go to the left of 6, but it's got to be greater than -2. So for conjunctions, or the ones that use the keyword and, they are connected. It's everything in between the two endpoints. Example 2. Here you can see that I have the keyword or, so this will be a disjunction. We're going to solve for p and then graph. Because I have an or, I have to do each one separately. So I'm going to add 2 to get p by itself here. And now I have p is less than or equal to -2 plus 2 is 0. And then I have to put my keyword or. So it's important that you use that keyword or in here. Here I'm going to add 2 to both sides to get p by itself, and I'm left with p is greater than 3. So I have my two solutions here. So I'm going to put an open circle, a filled in circle at 0 because it can equal 0. And then I have an open circle at 3 because it cannot equal 3, but it's got to be greater than 3. Greater than 3 means it's going to the right. Less than or equal to 0, that means it's less than to the left of 0. So disjunctions or, the 2 points are not connected. There's a gap in the middle. So it's either going to be greater than 3 or it's going to be less than or equal to 0. So that's how you can solve and graph compound inequalities.